beautiful people. Welcome to the Dr. Joy Show, your prescription for total wellness. And I'm your host, Dr. Joy. You see the cards on the table? That's right. We are going to talk about the automobile purchasing or leasing experience. And guess what? We're going to do it without any stress, okay? I'm not going to give you the answers. My guest will. But before we get started, let's do what we normally do on the Dr. Joy Show. And we're going to take it down with 3 deep breaths. Are you ready? Inhale. Exhale. Second one. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. How do you feel? I know I feel great. I want to welcome Ms. Melissa Lee to the Dr. Joy Show. She is an automobile specialist. I call her the extraordinaire because this lady here has got 25 years of experience. She was a salesperson, finance manager, sales manager, started with Nissan way back in the day. Nissan to infinity, and now she's with Ray Catena Motor Corporation in Edison, New Jersey, and she sells Mercedes-Benz. Lord have mercy. Welcome, Melissa, to the Dr. Joy Show.
Thank you.
So, I have some scenarios for you because my viewers and their friends will fall into the scenario. Did you know that for a fact that an automobile is, I think, the second largest amount of cost or purchase that a person will make? A home would be the first, and then an automobile would be the second.
Yes.
Do you have anything to add to that?
No, that's correct.
That is correct,
that
right?
Is correct, yeah.
Okay, so with that said, we have different automobiles here. I think that's a Porsche. This may be a Corvette. That's a Mercedes. Now, the first scenario, first-time home buyer. What would you say for a first-time home buyer? I mean, not home buyer. Oops, automobile buyer. That's why you didn't jump. First-time auto buyer. What would you recommend?
Well, first, look for what you want. Look for what you want.
But I want a Porsche.
And look what you can afford.
Oh.
So there's a bunch of scenarios. You may have, caviar taste, but sometimes you have to start in the entry level of a vehicle that you might like. And all different brands. I'm going to speak on Mercedes because that's where I'm at right now.
Go ahead.
We have entry level up to top of the line where, billionaires buy cars.
Right.
So you find a car that fits your needs. Okay. If you need a 4-door, then that's the car you're going to focus on.
Right.
A 4-door car. If you need a compact car, you need to focus on a 4-door compact.
Okay.
Some people like convertibles, coupes, 2 doors. There's so many different scenarios. Find what you need first. If you have children, you're going to need a 4-door. If you're a single person, don't plan on riding anyone with you, a coupe might be what, your need or what you should look for.
Okay.
But always go for something that you want and get as much options that you need in that vehicle.
But there are a lot of options that
Too
come
many
in
options.
the car, right?
Too
So
many
when somebody comes to you and says, okay, first time automobile purchaser, I want every single option there. What do you recommend to them?
I have to stop them right then and there because at Mercedes
You
can
go,
get, there's 50 options to one car.
50?
You can get it.
Are you serious?
Yeah, a little,
That's not over the top, don't you think, Mel?
There's too many options.
Okay.
Like, there's your standard car that you can get with base with just nothing in it.
Okay.
And then you can get up to, I exaggerated with 50, but there are a lot of options. Some things you'll never even touch. You'll have a customer come in and say, yes, I want a car with everything. Everything, driver assist package, you need a car that's going to actually stop for you completely. And, some people, that scares them.
Right.
Like, they panic in that mode. So that's not for everybody. The driver assist package is not for everyone. So I have to, we go on a test drive. And I say, this is the option you want? Do you need this? Do you want this? Because there's so many different options. And then by the end of the day, they don't want a car with everything. They don't need a car with everything.
Really?
No.
Okay, but
very
now,
rarely.
18 years old, I'm talking about first time. They're 18 years old or, maybe 21 or 22, straight out of college, or they finished, they had that time period where they went to college, they traveled the world, or whatever it is, but it's their first car. What do they need in a car?
If in New Jersey, you're going to need all-wheel drive.
Okay.
Or 4MATIC.
Right.
that's something I make sure if it's someone young, this is your first purchase. Are you staying in New Jersey? Staying in the tri-state area? 4MATIC is the priority for me to tell them.
Okay.
But that's something you should be looking for. If they say, I don't know what I need, I don't know what I want. All right, do you like the sun hitting you? You know, sometimes you need a sunroof. If you're the kind of person that cares less about, you know, the sun being on you, then you don't need a sunroof. Now that's an option. It used to be standard, but now everything's optioned out now. So you don't have to get everything in the car. You can get exactly what you need. Heated seats, that might be an option. Sirius satellite radio.
Okay, but that goes on a monthly basis, right? That's on a monthly basis?
Right, it comes, you usually, on a new car, you get it for 6 months for free. On a pre-owned car, you're going to get it 3 months for free, and then you deal with Sirius after that if you want to keep it or not.
Okay, so first time car buyer, then that means figure out what you want, but also look at your pocket. All right, next scenario, new versus pre-owned. Your advice?
My advice, I've been in the car business 25 years. Pre-owned, somebody else has already took that depreciation.
Yeah.
Pre-owned, if you're buying, that is your best buy.
Okay.
Okay, that's going to be your best buy.
So we don't lease pre-owned?
No,
No.
not really. No,
And
you
it's
can,
not-
but it's not beneficial.
Not beneficial
Right.
to the
buyer.
To the buyer.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, to the buyer.
So maybe that person, now going back to figure out what you want, look at your pocket. If they get pre-owned, maybe they could get the car that they want.
More options.
More
in the car they
options
want.
in the car.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then when you're getting a certified pre-owned, which if you're going to an authorized dealership, it should be certified pre-owned.
What does that mean, certified pre-owned?
That means the dealership has done everything they can to make that car new. There's over 300 checkpoints they've done on it. At Ray Catena, we replace the tires on the cars, even if they're new tires, newly used, worn tires. We don't. That's part of our certification, new tires, because we don't want any issue with any kind of tire. The car's been thoroughly checked. The service has been done. Anything that's been worn, torn, has been replaced.
Okay.
If it looks like it's about to wear out, we replace it.
So it goes way beyond.
Sometimes pre-owned might be better than a new.
Right. Sometimes pre-owned may be better than new.
Absolutely.
Especially if you get the car that you want that fits in your budget.
Absolutely.
Now, many of us, you know, we're in studio, so there's lots of hot lights, right? But sometimes when you go to the car dealership, you feel like there's a lot of hot lights. Like, dun, 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 dun. Buy this, buy this, buy this. So how do you deal with someone that, a purchaser or a buyer that's dealing with emotion versus affordability?
Well, you have to find out what their budget is. Okay.
They're
Everyone
going to
has
tell
a
you?
budget.
You're going to ask?
I ask.
Okay.
I ask because if someone comes in, they just started their job making $50,000 a year, and then they're looking at a $150,000 car.
No.
I mean, unless they hit the lottery, they inherited something.
Right.
You know, you like that car, but that might not be the car that fits your pocket.
So not now.
Not now.
Okay.
Right. We have entry stuff that's similar to that car.
Mm-hmm.
There's all levels of cars. So you really have to see what their budget is, and you have to investigate. You know, you don't want to say, no, you can't afford that, because you don't know. You
Right.
don't know what their situation is, even though
may
they
have
said,
a-
I just got my new job, but you don't know that maybe they got a signing bonus.
Right.
And maybe the job is paying for the car. So you got to investigate to see where they're going.
Okay, next scenario. I pick out the car in the middle, right? It's a Mercedes CLA. Okay, but then I may pick out the Porsche. Cash or loan? Auto loan.
Each individual person is going to have a different answer for that.
Okay.
Only because sometimes the money is so cheap, like the finance rate is so cheap, that by you taking all of your money out of the bank or some of your money out of the bank to pay for that, it would benefit you more if you leave your money where you can make money on it,
Right.
and pay that monthly payment, because the money is so cheap.
Okay.
So sometimes, you know, and then you have some people that this is their money, they set it aside. I said in 2017, I'm going to pay cash for a car.
Right.
That's what they want to do. So
Okay.
no matter, even if the money is really, the rate is low, that's not for them. They set that they just want to pay for this and have nothing else. Or someone's buying somebody a car.
Right.
That happens a lot.
Or
So-
if they're older and they need to spend down,
Right.
and then
Right.
the whole cash situation would work
or
out.
tax at the end of the year. They got to spend some money for
They gotta-
taxes.
yeah.
Come on in, give me that money.
Give you that money on the 31st of December,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So now let's talk about the loan process. How does that work?
Everyone qualifies for something.
Oh, really?
For something.
Unless there's got to be an unless. Now wait
well,
a minute.
there is. I mean, if you if you are foreclosed on your home and
Okay, that's a no-no.
you just had a car repossessed,
No.
no. There's
So
really,
pay your mortgage and pay your car note. Those
Right.
two things
Yeah.
are going to send you over.
right. That's
Okay.
going to get you, yeah. And there's all different tiers. So even if your score is not the highest,
Mm-hmm.
there's a tier that we could still get you approved on. There's 5 different tiers.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, there's A plus, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's all kinds of rates that are out there for any buyer. But again, you have to, there's certain things that if you have it, they're not going to, there's no way to get you a loan.
Right. So it's
Cash and carry. That's when you need to have the cash.
okay. So if you foreclose on a house or bankruptcy, right? That's
Bankruptcy, you can still get a car loan, but you have to
Really?
establish some credit after the bankruptcy. Meaning, yes, you have to establish some kind of credit first after the bankruptcy.
See, a bankruptcy, somebody, and a lot of people have done it, and no judgment, no judgment. You do what you have to do to survive, right? They've claimed the bankruptcy. It stays on your credit for 7 years. So for 7 years, they have to pay cash and carry, correct?
No, no, they do not. If they
Really?
can establish some credit after you have to clear the bankruptcy. Like
Okay, you
whatever
have to
your chapter you're doing, you have to
Clear that.
Clear that. Once that's done, you have to apply for credit. Even if you might not use it, you don't want to do credit anymore, whatever the case is. The banks will give you a loan if they see you're trying to establish credit again. So you can, after a bankruptcy, still buy a car. Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
All right. So money down. That's always a source of discussion. How much? I got $500. Should I put it down on a car or should I keep it in my pocket?
Well, if you're trying to get to a certain payment, maybe that money is helping you, that down payment is helping you get to the payment that your goal was.
Right.
When you're leasing, you have fees to pay up front before the lease.
Yeah, that's the next
So
scenario,
there's-
lease
yeah.
versus purchase. Let's talk about leasing because leasing back in the day was kind of hairy. Right? And now I think it has been made more easy,
90%
right?
of people that come into Mercedes-Benz lease. 90%.
And why is that? And I would say I'm going to extrapolate that 90% and put it to the universe and say the majority of people out there lease, but why?
Well, your cars are always under warranty. You're getting a new car every 2, 3, or 4 years, depending on the term of the lease you took. So you always have a new car. You always have the updated car. You don't have to worry about warranty and issues because the car is under warranty while you're leasing it. And then you just come back in, you know what, I need the same car. I want a different color, this amount of miles, and this is what I want to do. When will it be ready?
So it's kind of like renting. It's renting a car.
It's renting a car. It's
Okay.
renting a car. And it's just easier for people to just come in and say, you know, I want this payment. I want this miles. This is how much money I'm coming up with. And you can always add more money. Let's say if the payment is $700,
Right.
but you're trying to get a payment of $600,
Right.
You could put more money down to get to that payment. There's all kinds of ways you could stretch the lease out to get to that payment. So instead of a 3-year lease, you can go to a 4-year lease.
Yeah, but now I walk in and I see you and I tell you that I want, you know, whatever is on the lot or whatever in the showroom. And I say, I don't want a car note.
Well, there's a single pay lease as well, where you can pay the lease
Really?
completely up front, 2, 3, 4 years. Absolutely.
But what are the benefits to that?
No payment. Like you might have just got a large sum of money and you know you're going to be out of work for a year, but you know you're going to need a car. Maybe you want to travel. You have that money. You could pay for those 2 years up front and never have to worry about the car note. You still have to pay for your own insurance, but the car note is paid.
Ah, so are there any disadvantages to leasing?
Mileage restriction.
Oh, yeah.
That's
I'm guilty.
yeah. If you're
That
the type
was
of
way
person
long
that-
time ago. Ooh, I was way over the mileage, like way.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I
not
had
a
to
good
give
idea.
them $6,900.
That's not a good lease. You're not a lease candidate for that then, because why at the end of the lease do you have to give this money? Like that's not for it shouldn't happen. You shouldn't have to pay to get out of your lease.
You know why that happened with me, and I'm going to share you because I was buying or purchasing with emotion. Okay, because I wanted it, and I said, okay, yeah, I'll stay within the 15,000 mile restriction.
Right.
No, went right over.
Yeah.
and that's what
You
happened.
have to pay.
But
you have to pay for those miles that you go over in a
Yeah,
lease. That's the downfall.
and it's very expensive.
yeah,
And
25 cents a mile.
Oh, is it 25 cents a mile?
25 cents a mile. Yeah.
Now, at least here's another scenario, and this is where I know a few people personally will fall into this category. You ready? they enter a lease. And they say they're going to take out the lease for 5 years. What's the longest that they can?
You can. I would never go past 48 months because that's
48 months. Okay,
48
so that's
months.
4 years.
4 years, yeah.
Okay, and why wouldn't you go past 48 months?
Well, at that point, you could do a finance and come close to the payment you're paying on a lease. So.
Oh, see?
Yeah,
So if you're gonna, so this is a tip now.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna lease
Yeah.
and you want, because of the payment, because of the car that you want, your affordability, if you want to extend it beyond 48 months, then you might as well finance.
Might as well.
And how long, what's the longest a person can finance?
84 months.
What is that, 7 years?
Yeah, you can go 7 years.
Did I
yeah.
say 7 years?
7
Did you
years.
say 7 years?
7 years.
7 years, like 7.
Yeah, we don't recommend such, but sometimes, if, like I said, if you're trying to get to a payment, 84 months is the only way you can get to that
Oh,
payment,
man.
and you want that car.
Okay, but 7 years is a long time.
It's a
You know
long
that, right?
time, yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
But here's a scenario. Person leases a car for, let's say, 48 months.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, on my sheet I had 5 years. Now that you kind of just educated all of us here, you don't recommend going
No.
beyond 48.
No,
So we're going to
not
cut
at
it
all.
off at 48. 18 months in, they see the newest model out there. I know that you've run into this.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not like they're trading in their iPhone or Samsung, right?
No.
What happens? 18 months now, they don't want this.
Right.
They want that.
Yes.
What happens?
Happens all the time.
Oh.
At that point, we have to actually buy the car back from the leasing company on your behalf, and whatever the out of equity, because you're not going to have equity at that point. Very rare you're going to have equity a year and a half into a 48-month lease.
When do
Very
you
rare.
have equity?
Really, you don't have equity.
Ever?
No, not on a lease. It's not yours. It's never yours.
Oh.
It's very, very rare.
Okay.
I mean, like a 1% chance you're going to have
Unless
equity.
it's a Maybach or something.
Right, something extremely expensive that's
Okay.
very limited, and the value is worth a lot more
Mm-hmm.
than the normal car. Otherwise, getting out at that point, it's going to cost you. You can get out, but it's going to cost you money that you shouldn't
So
have
now
to
this
spend.
is going back to purchasing or making a decision based on emotions versus one's affordability.
Correct.
So what would you tell that person to do? Hold tight?
Yeah. I would tell them everything we could do for them. I'd get the car evaluated, tell them what the value of the car is, tell them how much we have to pay the bank off, and say, now you owe, and for us to help you do this, you owe us $10,000 to get you out of this car right now. That's just, a number. It's not per se it's going to be that much every time, but
Or it
you
could
owe
be
us.
more.
Could be more.
So
Yeah.
25 years of service, what's the number of times, or give me a percentage that you say that would occur? You said a lot of people do it.
And, well, it happens. I'd say 10%. It's not
okay.
it's not a huge amount, but people, because they say, you know what, I got this convertible, now I think I want an SUV, or they got a
Or
two-door, and
family
now I'm
change.
pregnant. I'm
Yes,
pregnant. I can't.
life changes.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Exactly. 2-door, 2-seater.
Need a
and
car
then-
seat now. That's
And now
never
you need
gonna
a
work.
car seat because the doctor
Yeah.
told you you're having twins. Okay,
Yes,
got that.
yes.
So is there a best time to purchase or lease a vehicle of the year?
Well,
So 12 months.
no, there is not a per se better time. When a car model is changing, so with Mercedes, since we have so many, it could be January, February, March. It could be any month when that new body style is coming out, but there are a bunch of leftover of the old body style.
Oh, that's when it's like,
That-
let's make a deal, baby,
On
baby.
that leftover car,
Woo!
that's going to be your best deal ever.
Okay, so I guess you kind of have to just do some research to see
Right.
when the buyer has to do some research.
Right. And if they're going to accept the last model, the body, the older body style, but at that, it's such a huge discount compared to what the new one's going to run you.
Right. I mean,
You have to see which one weighs out for you. Absolutely.
yeah, I'm gonna save some money, and I can get the car that I want,
Yeah.
and I can afford it.
Right.
Who's gonna know that I had? Because it's gonna be old the following year.
Right.
The model is gonna change, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So pros and cons of extended warranty.
Really, there's no cons with it. I mean, if you're the type of person that keeps your car 5, 6, 7 years, you're
Yeah.
going to need an extended warranty, especially with a Mercedes, because if it breaks down, it's going to cost you.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
So if you're the type of person that holds on to your car, yeah, you need an extended warranty.
But if I'm leasing,
No, you do not need an extended warranty.
But what about the maintenance programs?
Maintenance program is very good to have because it's at a discounted price. You go in, you pay for it, it's included in your lease, it's residualized, so you're not paying for the whole thing,
Right.
but you get to use the whole thing.
Okay. So what are the different types of maintenance programs? Tire.
There's a tire and wheel warranty.
Especially if
for the
you have
tri-state area.
especially if you have low profile tires.
Exactly.
And that winter that we usually get in New Jersey, the
Yeah.
Northeast is just bad with winters.
Bad, and the roads are bad.
And roads are bad, and you're driving along, and all of a sudden it's like, what? Wait, what? You're
Yep.
off axle. That's because you have a busted tire in the front or a busted tire in the back,
Yep.
and you didn't even see the pothole.
Nope. So that tire and wheel warranty will cover the tires and the rims.
Oh, that's important.
And the rims.
So you
because the
recommend-
rims are very expensive as
yeah,
well.
yeah, they're more expensive than the tire.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
that is
So
painful.
tire, if you have a low profile tire or a sports car in the tri-state area, you have to get a tire and wheel warranty
Okay,
for your own benefit.
So that's penny wise, pound foolish. Penny, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, penny wise. You have to think about that, right? I'm
Like that,
sorry.
yeah.
Penny wise, pound foolish, because it's like, I don't know how much these extended warranties range, right? But they're in the thousands, right?
Yes, for the tires.
But
yeah.
they're in the thousands. For the tires, to pay for the tire and the rim, they're in the thousands. But the warranty on the maintenance program is less than the cost of what?
Yeah.
Did you say 2 tires? 3 tires?
No,
4?
it's less than probably 2 services. So if you're getting 4 services for the price of 1.5 service, if you would just pay for it yourself. going
Wow.
there, it's a huge discount, and it's definitely beneficial.
Okay.
Everyone that works there, we all have it.
You all have it. Okay,
we work
and that's
there,
what-
we have it for our vehicles because it's that beneficial.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, then that's good advice. Let's talk about custom orders.
Yes.
Let's talk about custom orders. What is the process for, I want to come in, and I like that, but I want to make some tweaks to it. Would that be custom, or what would that be?
It can be custom. We could do a search first because we do what's called dealer swaps. So if someone has the car already built that you like, we can give them one of our cars and get that car in.
Okay.
If no one has it at all, then we would do a custom build
You got to
for
go
you.
to Germany?
It would be built from Germany. Yeah, we would.
Are you
Well, we don't
serious?
have to actually go there. You
Okay.
can do a European delivery, but no, that's a whole different story.
Right.
We would actually just go online in our system and say, you want this color inside, you want that color outside, you want those fancy wheels, you don't want the driver assist, you want
So
this,
it's
you want
almost
that.
like a menu of
Absolutely.
services, a la carte, bing, bang,
Absolutely.
boom, boom, ba, bum, ba, bum. And then, so at that point, would it be beneficial for them to lease a custom order or
Either way,
purchase?
doesn't matter.
Really?
Nope, they can lease, buy it, pay cash for it, however they want it. That car is being built for them. When the car gets there, whatever program is going on at that point, whatever finance rate is going on at the point of the arrival of the car, not when you build it, because it doesn't have a VIN number yet, so we can't
Right,
actually.
okay.
Right. So once it's completely built, whatever specials are going on at that point, that's what you get offered.
So typically, how long does it take for a car to be built? I place an order today. It's October whatever, 13th, 14th, whatever the date is. When am I going to get it? Because now I'm impatient because I want what I want when I want it.
Can be anywhere from 3 to 6 months.
Are you telling me I got to wait 3 to 6 months?
You may have to wait 3 months. If there's something that's being built that's not assigned to someone that we could tweak and adjust to exactly the way you want it, then it might be 2 months.
Okay.
But 3 months, and then if it's like an AMG car that they only
Yeah.
give us a certain amount
Right.
per year, that could be as long as 6 months.
All right. Okay. You mentioned AMG, which leads right into my next question about energy efficient, because we need to pay attention to the environment, right?
Yeah.
So let's discuss energy efficient cars, pros, cons, or concerns.
Like the electric cars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mercedes has a few electric cars. It's
Tesla,
not.
Mercedes. There's some other ones out there too. Does Honda? No. There's a few.
I think some of the yes, I think they have it as well.
BMW.
They're going to
does.
start having more plug-in charge,
Yeah.
like
Plates.
gas stations, like stations
Plates, yeah.
around. They have to, once they have more of those, then you'll start seeing more cars, because you don't want to be taking a long road trip, and even though you have navigation now in the screen, there's a spot that shows you where all the places are, but you can't run out,
I
and
know.
then the next one is
100
100 miles away.
You're stuck.
You're stuck. So
You're,
they have to
calling
be
somebody.
right.
You're calling somebody
Yes.
to come pick you up.
Yes. So
right.
then once they get that into effect, then that'll be better for everyone. You'll see more. You'll see more cars like that.
Okay, so
Yeah.
it's coming.
It's
And
coming.
there's
It's
a
definitely
tax
coming.
savings, I think, too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I want to combine the next two scenarios: purchasing online, the vehicle online, and lemon law, because I think sometimes they go hand in hand, wouldn't you say?
No. Two
No?
separate things. No.
Two separate
No.
things? All
Two
right,
separate
well,
things.
in
Yeah.
essence of time, talk about the lemon law.
Lemon law on a new car is for 24 months or 24,000 miles, so 2 years or 24,000 miles. If
Okay.
you continually have the same issue, and you have to keep everything documented.
Oh.
With Mercedes, it's in the system.
Okay.
Once you bring your car in and it's plugged in, that's in the system. There's something wrong with this car. We fixed it once, we fix it twice, we fix it 3 times. And it's still something wrong with it.
After 24 months.
No, within
the 24
right,
months.
within the 24 months or the 2 years.
And that would apply to any vehicle you're recommending, right?
That's any in the state of New Jersey, it's 2 years, 24,000 miles. Now, if the manufacturer is trying to fix the car, Mercedes will take that car back. They don't want issues. They need to take that car back and dissect it and see why we were having this continuous problem with the car. So that would be a lemon buyback at that point, and they give you the option to get another car. There's all different kinds of ways, but if you continuously have the same problem, when I say the same problem, so if it's this finger, every time it's this finger, that's the problem. But if it's this finger this time, next time it's this finger, third time it's another finger.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count.
It doesn't
has
count.
to be the same
exact issue within a 24-month period.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So with that said, the buyer has to be prudent in keeping their paperwork together.
Right. Mercedes has it documented always in the system, but you always want to have your documents laid out together as well. Yes.
So let's wrap up with 2 things. Purchasing a car online, let's do that one first. Would you recommend it? And if so, what would you tell people to look for?
I do not recommend it because I'm a person. I like to be person to person with someone, and I like to touch the car that I'm looking at. I don't want to look at it on the screen and be like, yeah, that's the one I like. I need to touch it. I need to sit in it. I need to feel it.
Okay.
Me. But there are some people that they're just too busy.
Right.
And they can buy a car online. They look at it, they see it, they like it. Okay, this is a car I want. They call, they try to do everything over the phone. When they get there, sometimes it's not always exactly what you want.
Right.
So I don't recommend it, but it is becoming more popular. People like to do it. It's not something I recommend.
Okay.
But because I'm a person, I like to touch you, I like to feel and see, and then this is what you want. We drive it, done.
See, and you said you like to touch and feel. Let's talk about relationship. My initial entry into a car dealership, I'm going to have a relationship with the salesperson. Now, we did our transaction. I picked out a car. I'm going to lease it or I'm going to buy it. And then now what happens? I go to service, right? Do you continue the relationship with your customers?
Absolutely.
Any final words, Melissa, because we are at the end. Any final words for the viewers?
Absolutely. I work at Mercedes, so there's a Mercedes for everyone. We have entry level. We have cars as low as $30,000, as high as $500,000. So there's every level for every person, lease, buy, pre-owned or new. Come in, take a look, touch, feel the car, drive before you buy.
Oh.
Because a car might look good.
Okay.
When you get in it, maybe you don't like a sport ride. Maybe it's too cushiony for you. Maybe
Right.
you like an SUV that gives you that off-road feeling. Drive it before you buy it. Very important.
Drive before you buy.
Absolutely.
Know what you want. Know how much you can spend. And then have fun with it. Okay? Until next time, be blessed, stay healthy. See ya!